Whoops. Oh, man. So the other night, Bernie Sanders was on CNN with the Anderson Cooper, Mr. Death Blow himself. I mean, you remember how well Kamala Harris performed after her town hall with Anderson Cooper. And here we see Bernie Sanders, Mr. Socialism himself, on the set. But it isn't Bernie, or at least not yet, that completely F's up and sticks his foot in his mouth. But can we really blame the silver fox here for what he has done? Benny Johnson laughing in his profile picture here on X saying, they, them pronouns, actually, thank you. And CNN's ratings just dropped even lower. Here, watch.
Paul, we're back with Senator Bernie Sanders. I want to introduce Grace Thomas. She's a local civil rights attorney. She's a Democrat. Grace?
They, them pronouns, actually. Thank you.
Oh.
Good evening, Senator Sanders. Polling and turnout data indicate that men of all racial demographics.
Do you see the look on Bernie's face? He's like, huh? What? They, them. If Bernie's supposed to be the face of the wokest party, the woke party, and the leader of the Democratic Party, essentially overcoming AOC and Jasmine Crockett for the dumbest of the dumb, he's going to have to figure this out. He's going to have to figure out how to make this work. And honestly, I can't even blame Anderson Cooper. Pronouns, really? Now, granted, Kamala Harris, she approached this topic a little bit differently, as she clearly stated her pronouns prior to, which, guess what? No shit, Sherlock.
Good to see you, Senator. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
How are you? Anna, thank you guys. And my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
She, her, and her. Mine too.
All right.
All right, first question for the night.
But I think that if you're going to go the route of they, them, maybe you should wear a sign on your forehead or something so you can let everybody know. It could be confusing. No one, I mean, who would have thunk it? Who would have guessed? And do you just automatically just assume they, them? And then, I don't know, she, her, shiz. What? Oh, look, here's the deal, folks. It's just not easy. It's not easy, and we're trying to simplify things here, which is what I do here on this channel. I dig through the noise of the fake news, all the headlines, and all the endless clutter to bring you guys the most important, valuable information with a clear, common sense perspective, free of bias and miscategorizing pronouns. And you know what? That's exactly what Chapter does for Medicare. And they're the only free, unbiased Medicare advisor out there tackling all 24,000+ plans nationwide to find the absolute best fit for you. Their licensed advisors work one-on-one to cut through the confusion, ensuring your plan matches your health needs and your budget. And whether you've been hit by recent plan changes or just wondering if you're on the right track, Chapter's got your back. No cost, no catch, and they're here to help, folks. And whether you are already 65 on Medicare, turning 65, or perhaps even your parents or anyone you know is nearing that age, Chapter, which I am so pleasantly pleased to bring you and have been able to partner with, can help. And they're here to help you avoid being a part of that 90% stuck on the wrong plan and get the coverage you actually deserve. Check the links in the description down below or on screen here, or give them a call to get started with Chapter today. Just like I sift through the mess to bring you guys the good stuff here, Chapter does the heavy lifting so you don't have to. Call Chapter 270-467-2426. Visit their website, askchapter.org/Kevin. That's Kevin, or give them a call. 270-467-2426. There's links down below in the description, or better yet, just comment in the comment section down below, Medicare, if you want help, if you want an advisor, if you want to talk to Chapter about the options that are available, and I'll make sure you get that information. And speaking about being on the right track, Anderson Cooper perhaps is not, And Riley Gaines says, calling for Anderson Cooper's immediate resignation for believing what his eyes were telling him he saw. Bigot. Oh, man. So this one here says CNN called a they, them, a she. Big no-no there, apparently. And I can't stress how offensive this is, says ALX. People with irregular pronouns have been fighting for dozens of months to be recognized. And this sets them back literally weeks. A truly dark day, almost as bad as January 6th. Oh man. Okay. That was pretty freaking funny. I'm sorry, guys. If you don't find that funny, then I don't know. You may be in the wrong place. Speaking of being in the wrong place, Tiffany Cross, seen here, CNN just lighting them up, and apparently tried to claim China is not our enemy on CNN, and Scott Jennings gives her a strong alpha male correction. This is how it's done, says Nick Adams, but even better yet, Western Lensman says, whatever Scott Jennings is making, it isn't enough.
Reality that we are dependent on so many things to come out of our biggest adversary in the world. They are the enemy, and we should not be dependent on them.
But no, they are not our enemy. They're our biggest trading partner. And if we
they've got rare earth minerals and you don't.
They're the enemy.
Right. But listen, but like it or not, sure, Michael, they are our biggest trading partner. And if we were to manufacture iPhones here, iPhones would cost $3,500. The American people are not going to tolerate that. We have one of the highest standards of working conditions here. I don't think that we can say, forget you, China. They literally.
So you're okay. Hold on, Sir Michael. So you're okay. You're okay if we continue to put our own economic and national security future in the hands of our biggest enemy, because effectively they use slave labor to build stuff, and that makes it better for us. That is terrible.
I am 100% not okay with that, but I'm dealing in the reality of what is.
Do you own a change?
Okay, so essentially what she's saying is, and correct me if I'm wrong here, that slavery is okay as long as it keeps iPhones under $3,500 a pop. Is that where we're at? Or slavery is okay as long as it's Chinese slave labor to keep iPhones under $3,500 a pop. Is that what we're saying? Because that seems to be what I'm hearing. But what did she say to begin with?
It will cost $3,500. The American people are not going to tolerate that. We have one of the.
It's funny. She says the American people are not going to tolerate that, assuming she means the high price of iPhone technology, which iPhones can be produced for low prices in other countries besides China. It doesn't have to be the United States. And it could be some other country that doesn't have a 104 or 10 or 13 or 400% tariff imposed on them and is in fact our sworn enemy. But she says Americans won't stand for that. And this is extremely ironic as we are talking about the topic of slave labor here. And you can take this as however you want to, but this one right here really caught my attention, and it's from Rob Smith. Now, I've talked about Rob Smith before, and a lot of the discussions and conversations on politics and his stance position. This one, right on time. Blacks are last in net worth, income, and education in American society, yet we fundraise for 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, who murdered another teen. Fundraising for a black killer and the lack of accountability culture in the black community. The video's here on X if you want to check it out. I'm not going to run it on this one, but I encourage you guys to take a peek. Go check it out. And this comes after some updates, some breaking news updates yesterday in regard. We see the quartering witness shares shocking details. Should put Carmelo Anthony in prison for life and people defend him. Yeah. There's a lot going on with this. I'm not going to dive into it on this one, but it's interesting how Tiffany Cross on CNN says Americans won't stand for this. $3,500 for an iPhone because it's not made in China. Insinuating that she's okay with slave labor as long as it keeps iPhone prices down. Yet we see Rob Smith here saying how Americans, more importantly, black Americans, are last in net worth, income, and education. And I would be willing to bet won't stand for that. Yet, what help and aid and assistance are they providing to one another besides killing each other? They're not supporting their businesses. They're not building businesses. They're not opening banks and approving loan applications for other blacks, right? Yet, A teenage boy brings a weapon to a high school sporting event, maybe has a chip on his shoulder, maybe not. Gets involved in some altercation and tussle that leads to another teenager, albeit white, different race, different color, murdered, killed, stabbed in the heart with a knife. And then here come all the blacks rushing with their financial aid and support to fund this GoFundMe of hundreds of thousands of dollars for a legal team to try and prevent this kid from spending the rest of his life in prison, maybe facing the death penalty. And I'm literally in the middle of editing this video and looking up Carmelo Anthony's GoFundMe to include a screenshot. And the first thing I see here on my screen, see if you guys can read that. GoFundMe deleted all of Carmelo Anthony's fundraisers. I don't know if you guys can read that. Sorry for this rudimentary format here, but I just asked Grok quickly, and Grok says, yes, GoFundMe deleted fundraising campaigns set up for Carmelo Anthony. The platform removed these campaigns because they violated its terms of service, okay, which prohibit raising money for the legal defense of individuals accused of violent crimes. This action aligns with GoFundMe's long-standing policy, and when such campaigns are taken down, the standard practice is to fully refund all donations to contributors, and multiple campaigns for Anthony, which had raised amounts like $16,843 and over $13,000, according to various reports, were removed by early April of this year, 2025. However, his family and supporters have since turned to GiveSendGo, a different crowdfunding platform without the same restrictions, where they have raised significant funds, over $270,000 as of April 9, 2025 for his legal defense. And in fact, it looks like that number is $308,551 towards a $350,000 goal. Would you donate to this? Would you support this cause? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, we need to probably focus on getting our priorities in order, folks, here. And it isn't the price of a freaking iPhone, okay? Absolutely not. Devory Darkin says, in one of the clearest examples of pure ignorance, Tiffany Cross claims China is not our enemy and expresses sympathy for the communist country. And Scott Jennings and Sir Michael Singleton teaches her the basics. How about these basics here? Breaking, Josh Hawley exposed today that the Chinese government was given access to Meta to store Americans' data. This is the most important 57-second clip you will see today. This is a must watch. This is treason.
So I want to just be clear about this. Here in this document, Facebook is talking about making Chinese user data available to the Chinese government because they're going to store that data in China. Is that correct?
Correct.
But when you store that data in China, Americans who exchange messages or other information with Chinese Facebook users, that would mean the Chinese government could get access to the American data as well. Is that correct?
Through the POP servers, potentially, yes.
And Facebook was willing to take that risk?
Yes, there was a lot of discussion about this, and ultimately, yes.
I mean, this is extraordinary. This is exactly contrary to what Facebook has represented for years. Here, they're willing to build data centers, store data in China. They are willing explicitly to give the Chinese government access to it. And if that means that American user data is also compromised, they're willing to do that too. All for profits in China. There was virtually... So I want to just be clear about this. Here...
This is incredible, folks. And this is just the beginning. This is only the start. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Actually, what Elon Musk says in regard to this Joe Rogan clip here.
What's really crazy to me is when people say the rich should pay more taxes. Okay, fine. But where do you think that's going? Where's that going? Where's the money going? Is the money going to the federal government? Do you think they're good at it? Do you think they're good at managing your money? Have you paid attention to all the shit Elon's fucking uncovered? 37% is when you make over $609,000 a year. That's you, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, that's me last month.
Look, guys, I don't want my money to be wasted. I don't want my information to be sent to the CCP. I don't want any of that. And I don't want you guys to not have the most up-to-date, accurate, unbiased, unfiltered information available. So I want you guys to check this one out because this tells a little bit of a different story, I think, based on what happened yesterday. Granted, yesterday was an amazing day. Chris Sains shows here these stocks will skyrocket in 24 hours. And after this, CNBC headline reads, stock market posts third biggest gain in post-World War II history on Trump's tariff about face. Be that as it may, take it how you want. Folks, you know, I'm about that money. I'm trying to secure that bag. I posted on Patreon yesterday how we had phenomenal news, great news, looking good, nice Tesla stock on the rise. And this one here is from actually Japanese politics, but it says, according to Fox News, it was Japan whose sale of American bonds yesterday forced Trump's hand to announce a 90-day suspension on tariffs, except for China.
Well, I mean, because of the mixed messaging, how can you doubt them? I mean, let's be clear what happened. Who capitulated here and why? And I don't want to say this because I'm a patriot. I'm an American. But it is the White House who capitulated based on everything I hear and all my sources. And the reason why is because of the bond market and what happened last night. Besant knows this better than anybody. When you have yields on the 10-year rising to 5%, stuff starts shutting down. When you have the lending markets screwed up. By the way, who was dumping the bonds? Somebody asked them if it was China, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't. It was Japan. While he was negotiating with Japan, according to my sources, who are running major money management firms that are involved in the bond market without giving up names, Japan was dumping bonds because they believed this was not a great place to do business. That forced their hands. Now, what you can say, I think, legitimately here, is Trump decided to take the win. And here's why. There was overwhelmingly, deal potential here among the entire world, except for maybe China, right? Everybody really wanted something. So he did take the win, but make no mistake about it. Peter Navarro was talking as of yesterday about not taking the win, and now they did. And it's all because of the bond market. I want to point out.
And so, look, at the end of the day, it's a strategic move to protect us. And President Trump has a strategy, okay? And it's not about just, putting your foot down and saving face here. It's about making America great again, no matter what. So that's what we want to be focused on. I'm not saying anything good, bad, or indifferent about what President Trump did in response to possibility what was said here about Japan dumping bonds. But I want to just highlight and point out leadership and, let's just say, for instance, partners operating with good intentions, our best intentions, okay, and a strategy. And that is exactly why partnering with Chapter has been such an amazing opportunity, because they do just that. So again, if you guys want any help, have them take a look at your Medicare plan for free. Just give them a call, 270-467-2426. Visit their website, askchapter.org/Kevin. Links down below in the description. Leave a comment. Just type Medicare and I'll connect you guys with our partner here. Or just give them a call, 270-467-2426. And feel free. Drop a comment down below. If you've already used Chapter, if you've already talked to them, if you've already connected, leave a comment, leave a testimonial. And if you haven't, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what happens. Let me know how they have helped you in the comment section down below, and I can't wait to read them all. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.